back to the Becoming Her junk journaling workshop, and we're gonna junk journal and become her at the same time. So today, let's talk about having values as a woman. So we're doing junk journaling on live. Y'all could do it with me or just watch. And we will be doing journal prompts. So, but this is what I did for my last junk journaling prompt. It was about feeling overwhelmed. So this is some of the stuff I put in there for that one. Okay. So now we're gonna move on for today's topic. So I need to start on a new page. So I just got like a notebook that I barely wrote in, that I already had at home, like a little journal, because I buy a lot of journals, and I just was like, I'm gonna junk journal in here, but with like mental health and self-discovery. So all right, so we got our stickers for the day. I made my own stickers. So here are some of the stickers I made. This is can you see that? Anyway, this is TLC from No Scrubs. This is Do I Like Myself? Dang, can you see? And we got the scripture of the day that we're gonna do as a sticker. In my self-love era, we got this sticker of a cute black girl, and it says, "You were created for a purpose." It's a scripture. She's super cute. We got Hello Kitty, a queen, period. Pray more, worry less. Let your growth be the plot twist. We were born to be real, not perfect. I know that's right. And I love being optimistic, because why wouldn't stuff work out for me? Well, okay, and then don't look back. You're not going that way. All right, and then the rest of the stickers are from our topic, and so I'll just show you those as we go. So let me turn this music down. Okay, so we're talking about today, like, having values for yourself as a woman. So like throughout my 20s, I'm 33 now, but throughout my 20s, like, I never really considered what kind of values I should have for myself as a woman. So like when I was growing up, I was in like a very legalistic church. It was Pentecostal, apostolic, and it was like very legalistic about it though. So it was very rigid, and so as soon as I turned 18, I went to college. I started doing whatever I wanted to do. So I didn't really like have values for myself. So like, yeah, like I was just kind of like out here doing whatever I wanted to do. I was winging it. I was very naive and green. So not only did I not have any values, I had no experience, and I really struggled understanding like social norms and social dynamics and stuff. So what ended up happening was, you know, when you don't have values, especially as a woman, what ended up happening to me was I started doing whatever. I didn't prioritize my grades. I didn't have values for what kind of friends I wanted. I didn't have values for dating like No, didn't have them. But that's very dangerous as a woman to like go throughout life and not have any like values or standards for who you let in your space, and for how you maneuver in life, because as a woman you're already vulnerable anyway, so you're really susceptible to being manipulated, abused, dragged through the mud, however you want to put it. So give me a second. So yeah, I mean, it's dangerous for anybody, man or woman, to not have values. But if you're a woman, you are crazy. If you out here just winging it, you just doing whatever society tell you to do. You're trying to live through the male gaze. You're trying to please men and doing all of this stuff, and you have no idea who you are or what you want and what you stand for. So like, you don't want to go through life like that. And I went through my entire 20s pretty much like that, because even when I started to get more standards and understand things for myself, I was still filtering it through other people's opinions. So, and that's not the move either. So I'm gonna put my first sticker, because the topic today is when you lack values. So I got a little sticker. Bless me. So I'm gonna put it up here at the top. And y'all, I literally just started doing this yesterday. I'm like, oh my god, this is fun. Like, I'm about to start live streaming and talking about it. So yeah, I just put my little sticker on. Okay, so but yeah, so not only is it dangerous for you as a woman, like all women, to walk throughout life with no values, if you're like a people pleaser, and if y'all join the video, like the video for me, y'all. If you are a people pleaser, if you're a woman that gets walked over, you feel like people take your kindness for weakness, or you've been told you're too nice, girl, like if I was you I would have da 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 da. Like, if you are that type of woman, then you are really vulnerable when you don't have boundaries, because you didn't already decided to throw yours away. Certain things that women who are not people pleasers have no trouble doing, you would. So like, an easy example would be, and this is off the top of my head, so an easy example would be like requiring a man to pay for the first date. Women who don't have trouble exercising the right to like have a standard for dating, like they're like, no, like he's gonna pay, they don't even care about that. But women who tend to be more people pleasers and stuff like that, like they don't want to offend, they don't want to seem like I don't want him to think I'm a gold digger, or I don't want him to think this or that, they would have a harder time with something like that. So like, let me see an example that I've had a hard time upholding that other people, they be like, what? So like, I used to have a lot of trouble saying no when I didn't want to do something. Now I can say no pretty good. But I used to like feel like I had to do it. Like, if somebody did something for me ever in life, or they was nice to me ever in life, or sometimes even if they weren't, I just felt like if they asked me to do something, I just had to do it. Like, saying no, I don't want anybody to be mad at me, right? So that's something that as a people pleaser I struggle with. And that's something that women who don't people please, like they kind of prioritize themselves a little more, they're not gonna struggle with that. So when you struggle with people pleasing and you're trying to learn how to prioritize yourself and your needs more, it's important to start with having values. Figure out what what do you believe? What standards do you have in life? And in what areas of your life? And how are you going to uphold that? Like, that's the kind of stuff that's important. So I got another sticker I'm gonna put on. It's just the intro of what we talked about basically. So I'm gonna also put that on here, but I'm gonna kind of stagger it because I want it to, like, I don't want it to look perfect or too neat, so I staggered it a little bit. All right, so let's define what values mean and what values are. So values are really just the principles for living. So it's like the principles that you have in life that kind of capture what means most to you in life. So I got a values sticker. Got a values sticker. This is what it looks like. And if y'all ever watch junk journaling videos or stuff, like, they kind of have, like, you know, they have stickers for everything and, like, stuff that they put in. So I thought it would be cool to do this. Really soon, I'm going to start meeting in person with women to do this very exact thing. Because I think that this stuff can really be, like, therapeutic and can really transform your life and your disposition, really. Okay, so now we have values, which we said were like your principles for living, like the things that matter most to you in life. But then you have value domains. So value domains are the areas of life where value comes into play, where your values actually come into play. So I have a sticker for that also, because the idea for me doing this is you kind of want to have a description of everything that we talked about, so that way on my own time or whatever, I can always go back and I can have, like, kind of notes. So this is our first little page. Now let me see, do any stickers of these stickers match? Let's try let your growth be the plot twist. I'm gonna put this one on. So let's put this one on because it's cute. And it kind of is a good opening type of a sticker. Oh, I covered up some of my words. Oops. So that's what we got so far. Okay, so since we said that value domains are kind of like the areas of your life that where your values actually play out, let's talk about what those areas are. So and whoever joined the video, can you like the video for me and engage, leave a comment. So the first value domain is the individual mastery. So with individual mastery, it emphasizes developing your own personal talents, putting them into practice, and striving towards your full potential. So your motivation for individual mastery is like internal self-growth. So I have a sticker for that, and I'm gonna put it right here. If you're just joining, I am junk journaling live while doing self-development work at the same time, and that's what's in the journal. So we're gonna be like journaling together. I got this sticker that I can't get the paper off the back but Oh my gosh. I can't get it off. There we go. Alright, so I'll put it right here. Can't see. There we go. Okay, so then the second value domain is going to be your social rank. So in terms of your social rank, that's when you focus on your level of like power, influence, financial success, and attracting desirable romantic or sexual partners. Then we got the third one. The third value domain is the universal justice value. So let me stagger that a little bit. So your universal justice value, you kind of value fairness, equality, and the well-being of everyone. So not just the people close to you, but like everybody, right? Then you got your cultural conventionality, and that kind of centers on maintaining tradition and stability in the existing social order. So that includes like your religious beliefs, your spirituality. Then the fifth value domain is interpersonal relatedness, and that value, it highlights the importance of close, warm, and supportive relationship with partners, family, and friends. So with those, now that we know the 5 domains, we're just going to focus on the first one, the individual mastery. So remember, that's the one where you kind of focus on striving towards your full potential and like self-growth, right? So that's the area that we're going to focus on, because I feel like a lot of people either don't care about self-growth or self-development, personal development, or they want to look like they care about personal development, and they actually don't really work towards it at all. But you know, if you're on here, if you're watching this live, by the way, my name is Shalise. I'm a people pleaser. Well, I'm a reformed people pleaser, and I am learning to like live my life out loud, as far as like being authentic and not masking who I really am. And I want to help other women do the same thing. Women that have struggled with people pleasing all their lives and feeling like people take advantage and don't really value them. And no matter how much they love people, people just seem to walk all over them, so to speak. That's the kind of women that I'm really looking to help. Like, if that sounds like you, I figured I would get on here and do junk journaling that has like self-reflective aspects to it. So it's like combining a fun craft with like self-development work. I think it's actually really good. So my stickers right now, they got the 5 domains we talked about. Alright, so we're doing individual mastery, and let's talk about what happens when you don't have values as a woman. Because if you are someone that has been a people pleaser in life, things like that, a part of it is, well, one thing that it shows is that you don't have enough values in place, so you probably don't value yourself the way that you should. I know that definitely was true for me, because like I said, through my whole 20s, I didn't have no values. My value was have friends, like get people to like me, get people to accept me, avoid rejection, and do whatever I want to do and not think about it. That's what my values were. So I guess, you know, you want to call that a value. That's what my values were. So all right, so we're gonna work together today to determine what values we hold for ourselves. Before you can decide how you want others to treat you, you need to determine how you would treat yourself first. So like, I know I used to always feel like, you know, why do people always talk over me? Why do they act like they don't hear me talking? I'm all kind of stuff. Why do men treat me like this? Why do my family do this? Like every area where I felt like I was getting less than what I deserved, I would wonder why that was. And I would have expectations for people to treat me better. But it's like, how can I do that when I didn't even set that as a standard? I didn't set it as a standard for myself. And so I surely couldn't tell other people ahead of time to do it, because I didn't even tell myself that I won't accept less than what I deserve. So when you do that, it's kind of like, how are you expecting people to treat you better than you're gonna treat yourself? So typically women who put the needs of others before their own, they kind of put other people's opinions, other people's comfort, and other people's values before their own. So like let's say, for instance, let's say you got some new friends and you don't drink, you don't party, and you hang out with some new girls and they drink and they party, and they want you to do it too, and you tell them you don't really drink and party, they try to convince you, oh no, like, come on, let's go, like, let's turn up, whatever the case may be, and you do it. And then next thing you know, you're doing it every weekend, you're going out, like, you're letting their values, because they value partying and going out, you did not value that. You letting what they value supersede your values, and that's not cool. Or another example too is when people will tell you what you should be doing or what you should believe. So I'm trying to think, so what could that look like? I'm trying to see, can somebody tell me, what does that look like when you when somebody tries to tell you what your values should be, what you should believe, they try to play something on you? Okay, one example is like, if you're abstinent and you got like a friend or like an acquaintance that you talk to at work or whatever the case may be, and they like, oh no girl, because what you need to do, you need to go hook up with him, or you need to get him some, and you're like, no, I don't do that, I want to wait till I'm married, I've done that before, I've been there, done that, I don't want to do that anymore. And they like, girl, you tripping, like, you need to make sure that, you know, that it's worth it, that y'all compatible and all of this stuff, right? That's somebody trying to tell you what your values should be in the area of your life. And people will do that because people want to express themselves. Everybody got an opinion, but you should not be letting nobody impress their values and their beliefs on you. Okay. So yeah, there's no way that you were created to live a life that other people want you to live. Like, it's just no way that God went out of his way to make you so that you can live how other people expect you to live. Like, that sounds crazy. But it sounds crazy, but this is what I was doing. And this is what a lot of women that struggle with people pleasing do. Even if you don't realize you're doing it. Like, you know how long it took me to realize that that's what I was doing? I thought I was just so sweet, so nice. I'm just a giver. Like, no. Because a lot of times that just come from you being afraid to have somebody leave you or be rejected, to be iced out, to not have anybody, to be in this world alone. That's what that really comes from. It's not really because you're just that giving. Because who is that giving? Who is that loving that you will put everybody else's opinions, values, everything, their needs, their wants above your own? That's crazy. That's unrealistic. Okay, so what happens when you don't have any values? So the first thing that I have for what happens when you don't have any values is that you have externally driven decisions. So you base your choices on how other people will respond or what society expects of you, and you kind of base your decisions on what you're told you should do. Like, a lot of times I used to ask for a lot of advice, and I without considering what's best for yourself, you will seek the answers outside of yourself, outside of God too. So yeah, I used to ask for advice on a lot of stuff. Like, instead of, even if I kind of knew the answer, I would always ask people what I should do in my life. And they wasn't close to me. They was just, I used to work with them and I saw them a lot. It's like, why are you telling people your business? But I did, though. Okay, so the next thing that happens when you don't have any values as a woman is you have broken self-trust. So, like I was saying before, like, you kind of second guess your own judgment. And that's really dangerous too, because I'll tell you something. I was in a horrible relationship, and it caused me, eventually I would second guess my own judgment, what I thought was true, what I thought was real. Like, I'm talking about, I was deep in there. And I think it was easier for that to happen to me because of my people-pleasing tendencies, where I put other people's opinions, other people's value systems, and how things should go and how things should be above my own. And I didn't really have that many values in place for myself. So it was really easy to make me think that what I believed or what I thought was right was wrong. So yeah, it can get pretty dangerous. That's why I say, like, as a woman, that if you're a woman that has trouble standing up for yourself or people pleasing and stuff like that, you are really vulnerable to men who have bad intentions. Like, people period that have bad intentions, but especially men, to me. So I'm about to put that down as my next sticker, what I just said about the broken self-trust. So that's on there. It's just cute, y'all. It's something fun to do while you, like, work on yourself. Okay, so the next thing that happens when you don't have values is you have a lack of follow-through. So, like, you'll start some goals, but then you won't complete them. So it's like you lacking discipline, your structure, and you're lacking accountability. And I can attest to that. Definitely true. So another thing that happens when you don't have values is you have low relational standards. So you kind of keep people in your life that drain you, that disrespect you, and kind of just pull you away from growth, or pull you away from your purpose, or just like being on a good path and like something good that you should be doing in your life, or that maybe you were doing. you get involved with the wrong people, and next thing you know, like, your life is in shambles and you're not even no longer doing the thing that you were going after. So yeah, that's true. The next thing that happens when you don't have values is that you have like misaligned relationships. So it's kind of close to the last one. So you like choose your relationships based on the attention that they give you, or their potential, or just out of comfort, or out of what I'm trying to say, like, just because it's easy, like it's not hard, convenience, that's what I'm trying to say. And you don't even think about their character, whether y'all got values in common or that y'all lives are aligned. Like, you're not even concerned with that part. And so that could be that is detrimental. Definitely detrimental. Like, I could relate to that. So then the last thing that I have, and there's a lot of stuff that can happen if you don't have values in your life, but this is some of the stuff I came up with. So the last thing that I have for today is but really the most important thing is, when you don't have values as a woman, you either don't value a relationship with God, or you treat your relationship with God as optional, or is inconsistent, and you only turn to God when life is hard, when life is hard, and you don't really work on building a really good relationship and foundation with God. Now that was 1,000% true for me, because I didn't even start, I gave my life to God when I was a kid. But like I said, when I got older, I started doing what I wanted to do. So I didn't even give my life to God really until 2022. So yeah, of course I was not out here prioritizing a relationship with God. Okay, so I'm gonna put these here because I'm gonna go on to the next thing. Okay, so yeah, so since we talked about, you know, what can happen to you when you don't have values, I actually want to like kind of talk about that, like give a personal example of that. So yeah, like, I used to really struggle with misaligned relationships and broken self-trust. So like, by misaligned relationships, I'm talking about, like, I mean, it was friends and romantic relationships, but I'm talking about dating right now. Like, I used to, so when I say misaligned relationships, I mean choosing the wrong men. And what was the other thing? And then I struggled with broken self-trust. So like, I didn't trust my own judgment. When I knew something felt off, or when I knew something was wrong with the person I was dating or talking to, I ignored it. Because yes, I was naive with a lot of stuff, that is true, but honestly, deeper down, it was because I didn't want to like be alone. And because I already had struggled with rejection, it was not often that I was dating, because I'm a really highly introverted person, like, can be very socially awkward and stuff. So I was just not out here dating. Like, I was not talking to that many men. And so when I would give a guy a chance, I kind of didn't want to let that go, because I didn't want to be alone again, for real. So yeah, I literally, like, I only dated men who gave me attention. And like, I don't think I ever said this, like, this is very public, me saying that, but for real, like, don't get me wrong, if you was like ugly, I'm not about to talk to you. But if you was like medium ugly, or you was like okay, funny, and wasn't dirty, and like not bummy, then yeah. And you approach me, I would talk to you just because of attention. And that's something that we talked about with the misaligned relationships, that you choose relationships based on the fact that they're trying to holler, like they're giving you attention, or they have potential, or they're convenient. And so that's what I base my dating off of. So that's why I got the worst of the worst. Because that's what you do when you don't have the right standards. That's what happens. So yeah, let me see. I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaving nothing out. I wrote an outline before I started, y'all, because otherwise I'll be all over the place. But yeah, so because I didn't have values and standards for when I was dating and stuff, because like now I don't really date. Like if I really date, I mean I literally don't date. I don't even know why I put the word really in there. But what was I saying? I done lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so by me not having no standards, I dated men who wanted to take advantage, because I realized, and I learned this stuff because first of all, I didn't have nobody in my life teaching me about dating or teaching me about men, teaching me about how to choose friends, how to choose your man, none of that. Like growing up, I did grow up in like a Pentecostal, apostolic, very legalistic church, and so I was just told, don't have sex until you're married. That's good. That's a good thing to be told. But that's all I was told. I was told what sex was by my mom. I was told what STDs are, stuff like that. But I was not talked to about the dynamics of relationships. And now, to be fair, I don't think my mom knows all of them. And my dad wasn't really around. So I was just out here winging it. Didn't know what I was stepping into. And I think that when I came across a lot of men that would try to talk to me, or that I did talk to, they picked up on that very quickly, obviously, that I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And so they picked up on it like pretty fast about me. And so as a result, they were like, oh yeah, like I'm about to get down, like I'm about to take advantage. She a fool, she green, she don't know what she doing. And then and then by me not having standards, even if I am green, like even if you are naive to stuff, even if you don't understand social dynamics the way that everybody else seems to, right? If you have standards in place, like the way I started learning about the game is honestly on social media. That's how I started learning about things about how men operate, how female friends operate. And so then I started kind of developing standards for myself. So it's like, because it's still stuff I don't understand, but it's like it don't matter, because if I have standards that if a man start talking about what I'm wearing and start talking about sex early on, I'm gonna stop talking to him. That's it. I don't gotta read between the lines. I don't gotta say, well, maybe this or maybe that. I don't gotta give him no credit and say that's how men are. I don't gotta do none of that. I could just, that's my standard, that's my value when first talking to a man, so I can stop talking to him, right? So that's why the values are important, because even when you don't have all the information you need about how to date or dating or choosing friends or how your family or how families operate and the different type of family dynamics, it don't matter. Do you want your family in your business? Yes or no? Okay, so when they try to be in your business, you tell them, I don't want to talk about that with you. I'm not a kid anymore. We're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it don't matter. If you feel strongly and important about a certain area of your life and you want to have a value in that area, you can do that. It doesn't matter if you understand all the dynamics or not. So, okay, let me move on. All right, so with that being said, let's do, I don't know if anybody is still on here, y'all, because I think nobody is even on here. But I was gonna say, do anybody want to come on and talk about an example of, like, about a time, about any area of your life, or an example you have of when you kind of seeking outside validation from other people, kind of mess your life up, not trusting yourself and your own intuition or your own beliefs, not following through on things, being involved with the wrong people in your life, or having an unstable spiritual foundation or relationship with God, like how that affected you, or how did that reveal that you lack values in that area of your life, like a situation. But I don't think nobody really on here. So we are going to go ahead and go on to the journal prompt, because we junk journaling and doing journal prompts. So I'm putting my little sticker for the journal prompt. So just a little straight up sticker. So then alright, so the scripture, I have a scripture for our journal prompt, and I have a sticker that I printed to go with our scripture. It's Galatians 1:10. For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I still please men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. It's supposed to be pleasing God, making your decisions and your values surrounded by God, not other people. So I definitely put that on there. Okay, so if you don't have any clear values guiding your life, you will default to whatever feels easiest, the most comfortable, or the most accepted in the moment. So that's how you end up disconnected from God. That's how you end up unsure of yourself. That's how you end up living without direction, without purpose. So having a strong relationship with God, having self-trust, living an intentional life, those things are done by making consistent decisions, being honest with yourself, and having a willingness to change or to move different than what you've been moving. So if you want a different life, you have to start paying attention to how you're showing up now. Like, you can't just say, I want to change something and then jump right into changing it. You have to work through, well, what is it that I'm doing now? So like with your values, you can't just be like, okay, well, I want to have a value system. Like, I want to have an integral life as a woman and all of that. You have to actually, like, consider, well, what values do you have now, or what are you lacking first? Okay, so the first question for our journal prompt, so it's like a 3-part question. So the first one is, what does my current relationship with God actually look like in my daily life? Not just what I say I believe, but what does it actually look like? So you kind of want to reflect on your consistency, your priorities, and kind of determine, do you seek him for direction, or just only in certain moments of your life, like maybe things are going bad? So I'm going to put that question at the top of this page. And if you are watching, please feel free to journal along or write your answers. Okay, so the next question, the next part of the journal prompt: in what areas of your life do you not trust yourself? And has that shown up in the way you make your decisions, your relationships, or the habits that you have? So you're going to identify the patterns that override your own judgment or rely too heavily on other people. So that's the sticker I'm putting down now. That's that, because what I'm going to do is I got my stickers for the journal prompt questions, and then I'm going to answer it below the sticker. So the last part of the question: am I living intentionally, or am I just reacting to life? Like, are you waking up and you're like, okay, I kind of already know what I'm gonna do today because I already know what goals I'm working towards? Or do you just wake up and you're like, woo, I'm up again, here we go again? Like, basically, do you have a plan? So are you intentionally reacting to life? And then what would it look like if you started making decisions that had a clear direction and purpose? And you want to be honest with yourself. You don't want to lie to yourself in your own journal. Like, who looking at it? That's one thing too about, you wanna grow and develop in your life. You wanna grow, you wanna improve and have self-improvement and stuff like that. You can't really be lying to yourself, because lying to yourself is how, when we lie to ourselves, that's how we get so misguided in the first place, because we doing it by lying. That's how we keeping up the bad quality of life that we got, because we sitting there lying. So you don't want to lie in your own journal. Like, if you're doing journaling so that you can work on yourself and get to know yourself on an intimate level, then you need to be intimate. You need to be telling the truth. So, but easier said than done, because a lot of this stuff is like, man, like, you really holding a mirror up, you really looking at yourself. So it's like, it could be hard to be honest about that, but that's what we're doing. Self-development is hard. It's not easy. So yeah, just when you answering the questions, make sure you're being honest, and being honest about just whether or not your current lifestyle reflects where you say you want to go. So I got my questions on here. I'm not gonna answer them on live right now because ain't nobody on here, so that's why I'm not doing it. But if y'all was on here, we would work through it together. So I guess the more consistently I do this, more people will come on. So now that we kind of got all of our stickers that talk about the topic, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we talking about, you see that? Well, my bad, y'all. So we got the when you lack values, that's our topic. I put one of my little cute stickers on there, but then we got the stuff we talked about, the main points. This is what each page is looking like so far. This is our journal prompt with the scripture I read. And then these are the parts of the questions, right? So now I'm gonna find a place to put these other stickers. So I like this a queen sticker, this Hello Kitty sticker, and I made these stickers myself. So I think that's what also makes it fun, making my own stickers and then junk journaling. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So okay, so this sticker is about being a queen. So where should I put this sticker at? Maybe I'll put it on this page. Let me look. Let me make a decision. So I'll put it on here where I say we're talking about individual mastery and kind of self-growth, because when I grow, the more I grow as a woman and I'm trying at life, I feel like that makes me a queen because I'm valuing myself, working on myself. So we gonna put the queen sticker here. Yep, a queen, honey. Okay, so pray more, worry less. This cute sticker. We're gonna put that on the page about the page asking about my relationship with God. We're gonna put that there. Pray more, worry less. The do I like myself sticker, we are gonna put that on the page where we talk about what happens when you don't have any values. It's like, that's what you do. You act like you don't like yourself. Do I even like me? Do I even love me? What's T? Okay, then, okay, so I printed this TLC sticker, and I get a lot of my images from Pinterest, and then I just make stickers out of them. So we're gonna put this on the page where we talk about a woman who doesn't have any values, dates whatever kind of man come around, basically. So we're gonna put that right there, because as TLC said, I don't want no scrubs. Okay, let's see. And we got a few more stickers, so I'm gonna put them on here. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the page where the question asks, what areas of my life do I not trust myself? I'm gonna put this sticker that says, we were born to be real, not to be perfect. I think it would be a little easier to trust ourselves if we didn't set the bar too high. And by that I mean, yes, you show up for yourself and you accomplish the things you say you're gonna do, but maybe you shouldn't set the expectation so high in the first place, because that can mess up your self-trust. Like, if you got a goal, I want to get up at 5 a.m. every day and pray or read my Bible or exercise or whatever. I just want alone time, whatever. If you start straight up trying to get up at 5, you might not do it every day. You might do it once a week like that, twice, 3 times, especially if you got a busy schedule. So you kind of setting the bar really high. And so when you fail, you're going to feel shame. You're going to doubt yourself, your ability to do what you said you could do. So if you instead say, either I'll start one day a week getting up at that time, or I'll start getting up at 7 or 6. And if I can do that, then I can get up earlier and earlier. You kind of got to build the trust with yourself over time instead of like jumping right into it and expecting yourself to be able to perform at that higher level. Because if you're trying to reach a higher level, you probably need to work your way up to it instead of jumping up there. So let's just put these other stickers on here, y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and log off. Thanks to whoever was watching. The more I do this, the more I'll be able to tell what it is I'm doing, as far as like being able to read the live and stuff. No, I don't know who you are. Okay, so bye y'all, I'm about to go.